pieces. Hi guys, I'm Danielle Keller and I'm a hairstylist and I'm with the Desire Company. And I'm gonna show you how to get the perfect beachy waves. So I'm gonna use my wet brush jaw clamp. And we're gonna do about 4-ish horizontal sections. And my first section is gonna be from ear to ear. Going to clip all of this up right here. Perfect. And then I'm going to be left with everything from ear to ear. So like top of ear to top of ear. I'll just kind of briefly show you that. So I have a sewn in weft in my hair. So that's a hair extension piece that's sewed into my hair to give me extra fullness and thickness. Completely blends into my hair, and it just gives me a lot of thickness and then gives me a little length as well. So that's this right here. Okay, so we're gonna start curling. This is a inch curling iron. It's the Hot Tools Nano Ceramic. I love this iron. My hair is pretty long, and because it's so long, it doesn't hold curl that well. So a 1-inch iron is perfect for me. If you feel like your hair doesn't hold curl very well, try the 1-inch also. If your hair is shorter than mine, like maybe it's kind of here or maybe more medium length or above, I would use an 1.25-inch iron. So I'm gonna start curling. All the pieces around my face are gonna go towards the back of the room. So think like Farrah Fawcett, like going away from the face, and that's a good way to remember how to do all the pieces right around your face. This first guy is gonna go back. So I'm going in at the mid shaft. I'm not curling all the way up to my root, and I'm leaving the ends out. I'm gonna do the next section behind that. Also, I should say before I get started, all of this section split in half down the middle and split into 2 and bring it forward. So I have 2 sections. So I curled that guy. This one, because it's also so close to my face still, I'm also gonna go back Farrah Fawcett style. So middle, I'm doing the mid shaft. And I'm pretty much holding my iron up and down. I'm gonna take it out, and when I take it out, I'm gonna twist a little bit. And then I'm gonna curl a little more. Then I'm gonna twist, take it out. So that one was going behind. Now we're gonna start alternating back and forth. So these are back. Now I'm gonna go forward. So I'm alternating directions, one going back, one going forward, one going back, one going forward. And that is just gonna give us like a really textured, casual, like carefree look where when they're all going in the same direction, they kind of stick together and don't look so casual. They look a little more dressy. So that's why we're alternating directions, so we can break it up and give it more texture. Definitely makes it look more beachy that way. So now I'm going back. So curling iron straight up and down, holding the tail. When I take it out, if you get a little twist like that, that's even better because it's adding to the texture. The more twist, the more texture, the beachier, saltier it looks. Okay. So this one's gonna be forward, just back and forth the sections. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. I would say no longer than 4 Mississippis. Maybe 3. 2 if you have finer hair. It really depends on how thick your hair is. My hair's pretty thick and I'm holding it in for 4 Mississippis. So I would say fine hair, 2 Mississippis. And yes, I use Mississippi's. I feel like it's a good rule of thumb. So these back pieces in the back of my head, bring them forward. It's gonna make it a lot easier for you to curl them, and also you will not burn yourself that way because you're creating space up here to curl them, opposed to like trying to stick your arms back behind your head. Okay, so we're gonna repeat that the other side. So these first two sections are going back away from my face, like Farrah Fawcett. So I'm also leaving the ends out. Twisting, creating that texture, winding it back up just because my hair is long, and then leaving the ends out. So bring all this hair forward. It's gonna make it a lot easier to section the hair from. So this piece is gonna go back also. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, and we're out of there. Texture, now I'm doing the ends. So I am not curling all the way up to my root. I'm doing it, I'm like entering the curling iron more at the mid shaft. We want like a really relaxed, casual curl. Starting it at the mid shaft is gonna make it look a little like less formal. And it's gonna give it a more relaxed curl, not as tight, which is what we want for a beachy wave. And then as I come out, you know, I'm leaving the ends straight, but you can also smooth them too, a little bit like that. You know, beachy waves are not just for summer, they're for all year long. You'll get a couple days out of them. So the first day is kind of like a little tighter, and then the next day is a little more casual and relaxed. And then the third day could be even just like kind of barely there texture. So I love that you can get a few looks out of them. And I feel like because they are beachy waves, like effortless is like, you know, what we're aiming for. So you don't need to be like too particular with your sections, or, you know, if you don't curl something the right way, like it's totally fine, because the messier, you know, the more casual and effortless it looks. So that's fine. Pulling out, getting some twists for some texture, and then smoothing those ends on the way out. So the ends are straight, as you can see. So the first two pieces we did away from the face, and everything else we alternated back, forward. And you know, if you don't stay into that, because it's just, will create to that effortless look. So now that we've got this first section completed, we're gonna take another horizontal section and repeat the same thing all the way up to the head until we get to these front pieces. So my next section is going to be kind of like eyebrow level. So you have a big square left on the top of your head. Okay, to make things easy for us, we're gonna find the real hair, or the soft hair. We're gonna find the soft hair, and you'll feel that in difference with the hair that you just curled. Gather all of that. Okay, I have everything in my hand. Now I'm gonna split it down the middle into two sections to make it easy for myself, and put this over here, and then start working with the back of this section. And as you can see, I'm taking kind of like big chunks. They're not super skinny. So I have extensions in my hair and I'm curling my real hair the exact same way as I curl my extension hair. So there's nothing different to it. And it blends right in. So I sectioned this at eyebrow level, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Like I literally just did it with my hands really fast. So it does not have to be perfect at all. Just a general guideline of kind of where to start. Also, like leaving your ends out too is good because you don't have to worry about kind of like burning your fingertips. And it's also better for your ends because usually your ends are drier anyways, so leaving that out is probably a good thing. Okay, and I'm gonna take my next section. So I just have a middle part down here. So our next section is right above that, another horizontal section, and then we're left with just this little square right on the top of my head. So this is the last section, the fourth section. This is the third one, and it's kind of this area right here, so like your temples, going all the way back. So again, gathering all the hair that is straight, separate from the hair that is curly. Finding it first. This is gonna make things easier in a little bit. Okay, I have all the hair. I'm gonna split it down the middle, and then we have our two sections. So there's not much in this section. I love the texture that these waves get by the twisting. It just gives you that like California cool like vibe. Like you didn't spend too much time on your hair and it's just like effortlessly chic. If you're looking for more of like a barely there wave, I would do a bigger size curling iron. So 1.25 inches. And that'll give you still like a nice wave, but not as tight. Not that these are gonna be tight, but using the inch iron definitely gives my curls like longevity for days. You know, you could definitely transform this into more of like a barely there beachy or I'm gonna make this last for a couple days kind of beachy. Okay, this is the last and final section on top. I part my hair down the middle where it goes, and then we're just left with these two sections. And I'm still alternating sections. So this one's back. Do this one forward. We don't want to do any forward pieces right around the face because it looks like little girl curls, like flower girl curls. So this is the remainder. So these are both going to go back. So we're going to save that for the end because that's part of like the front pieces. So do the same on this side, one going back and one going forward. Beachy waves are just like a must for today's girl, right? So it's good that, you know, you perfect them, get them down pat. Okay, so we're left with just these two front sections. So I'm gonna split this in half. And you might have shorter pieces around your face like I do, or they might be longer. So I would still kind of treat them the same how I'm doing them right now. So I'm kind of over directing forward just a little bit. And I'm not really going to hold my iron in that long for these guys. So that's it. And then this one, because it's shorter, I definitely am not gonna hold it in that long. And I'm over directing it forward just a little bit, leaving the ends out still, even though it's a short guy. And that's it. So really didn't hold it in there for very long at all. Okay, split this into two, same thing over here. A little bit of over direction forward, going in, leaving the ends out still, and pretty much coming right out, because I don't want these guys to be too curly, because they're shorter. Leaving the ends out, and then coming right out. And I'm kind of like, I kind of yanked the iron down a little bit to give it more of a relaxed curl around my face. Okay, so we have a nice beachy wave. The ends are straighter. We've alternated back and forth. We've done the front pieces a little bit looser, didn't leave the iron in as long. So now what I would recommend is to like finish doing your makeup, get dressed, do something for like 5 minutes to let the curls fully set. That way the curls have longevity for you. So now I have all my beachy waves completed, and now I'm gonna do a light mist of the Davines Medium Hold Hairspray. I am using this because I want the curls to last. So this is gonna give it some nice brushable hold, nothing sticky though. That's why I love this spray. And now I'm gonna let it sit for 5 minutes and not touch it, not run my fingers through it until after that 5 minutes. Okay, so now it's been 5 minutes and I'm gonna brush out my waves with my wet brush. Just doing a light brushing, nothing aggressive. I wanna keep the curls intact, but just give them some separation. So just one time, and that is it. And we have beachy waves. You guys got this. I hope you make some beautiful beachy waves.